You might not be expecting this, but I need you to be still, silent, and fully present, because what's coming your way is not ordinary. It's divine. It's urgent. And it's for you, if you're one of the chosen ones. Now, if you're not a believer in Christ, this message might not land. Honestly, it might not make any sense at all. You're free to click away. But if you are chosen, if you felt different, set apart, called for something greater, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Chosen ones, I need your full attention. Maybe you've been feeling something lately. A stirring. A shift. Maybe you haven't been able to explain it. It feels emotional, but deeper. Like something in your soul is moving. You've tried to shake it off, but it lingers. It burns. And no matter what you do, it refuses to be ignored, that inner fire. That restlessness. That urgency to move, to change, to become something more, that's not random, that's not your imagination, that's God shifting you. He's moving you from walking to running, and this isn't just a little adjustment. This isn't a new routine, or just next steps in life. This is a divine acceleration. This is supernatural speed. For a long time, you've been walking step by step. Progress has been slow. It's been delayed. You've done your best to stay faithful, to endure, to wait. And yes, you've been moving, but maybe you felt like it's not fast enough. Not yet, but now. Everything is about to change. When God shifts you, everything moves. The pace changes. The speed increases. And the breakthrough that felt miles away, it starts showing up at your door suddenly. What used to take years will take months. What used to take months will take days, and what took days will now only take moments. This is not motivational talk. I'm not just saying words. I'm declaring something over your life right now, a divine shift. A supernatural acceleration. A release of God's speed over everything connected to you. Doors that have been locked will swing wide open. Prayers you thought were forgotten will be answered, instantly. Every obstacle that's been holding you back, it will crumble in a second. You're going to witness a transformation so fast, so powerful, so undeniable, that even the people who doubted you, dismissed you, laughed at your progress, they won't have words. They'll just watch in silence. But don't get it twisted, this isn't happening because of you. It's not your strength, it's not your hustle, it's not your perfect plans or preparation, it's God's hand on your life. When God touches something, everything changes. He's the same God who pulled Joseph out of a prison cell and sat him on a throne, in a single day. He's the same God who empowered Elijah to outrun a royal chariot. He's the same God who turned the Red Sea into a highway. So understand this, what took others decades, God can do for you in moments. Not because you're better, but because His supernatural grace is on your journey. So now, get ready, prepare yourself for this shift. Don't resist it. Don't overthink it. Don't second guess what God is doing, because when God hits the accelerate button in your life, nothing and no one can stop it. The time is now. The shift is already in motion. Are you ready? Before we go any further, I want to pause for just a moment and say thank you to everyone who supported this mission, especially those who've given through the pinned comment or the super thanks below. Your support isn't just generosity, it's an act of worship. Every time you give, you're planting seeds into the kingdom. You're helping us bring hope and truth to people who are hungry for purpose and desperate for clarity, and God sees that. Just like Jesus honored the widow who gave from her lack in Mark 12, God honors every act of sacrifice made in faith, so thank you. Thank you for standing with this movement. And if you believe this message is speaking directly to you, I want to ask you to do 3 things right now. Hit the like button so we know you're with us, subscribe and help us get to 110,000 subscribers, because every new subscriber expands the reach of this mission, and drop a comment with this phrase, Jesus, I am ready to run. Push me. That comment isn't just a few words, it's a declaration. A signal to heaven. A shout to your spirit that says, I'm ready, and if you're truly chosen, you'll stay with me until the end, because your spirit already knows this message is yours. Now let's dive deeper. In 1 Kings 18 verse 46, it says, "The hand of the Lord came upon Elijah, and he tucked his cloak into his belt and ran ahead of Ahab all the way to Jezreel." Did you catch that? Elijah ran ahead of King Ahab's chariot. Think about that. Ahab was riding in the best transportation of his time, horses and chariots. Yet Elijah outran him. How? Because God's hand was on him. When God puts his hand on you, nothing can outpace you. When God gives you his strength, no enemy, no delay, no disadvantage can stop you. When God accelerates your movement, it doesn't matter who started first or how far ahead they are, you're about to overtake them. The world might say you're behind, people might assume you missed your moment. The enemy might be whispering that it's too late, but they don't know what's coming. They don't know that when God breathes on you, delay becomes acceleration. When he says it's time, nothing can stop the speed he gives you. Elijah didn't just catch up, he passed Ahab. That means, it doesn't matter who had a head start. It doesn't matter who had the resources. It doesn't matter who had the support. When God's favor hits your life, you will surpass them. So let me say it plainly, this is your season of acceleration, this is your moment to run, this is your time to overtake. The hand of God is moving in your life, and when it touches you, nothing will be able to slow you down. Are you ready? Then get ready to run. Chosen one, hear me clearly, you don't get to decide when to run. That's not up to you. That's God's decision. You don't choose when the pace changes. God does, and when he says it's time to run, you've got to be ready. Some of you have been asking God, why is it taking so long? You've been frustrated, maybe even feeling forgotten. You've been faithful, but still stuck. Patient, but still waiting. And deep down, you're wondering, what's the holdup? And here's what God is saying to you, I had to build your strength before I released your speed. Let that settle. God wasn't ignoring you, he was preparing you. He was strengthening your foundation before lifting you into the next level, because speed without strength? That's dangerous. If he had let you run before you were ready, the blessing would have broken you, you would have buckled under the pressure, the increase would have overwhelmed you, the responsibility would have crushed you instead of elevating you. So yes, it took longer than you expected. But that time wasn't wasted. It was necessary. Because now the preparation is done. The waiting season has served its purpose. God is saying, you're ready now. Let's move. So when the king commands his warrior to move, you run, no hesitation. No second guessing. No looking back. You walked for years. You waited, prayed, hoped. You held on to the promise even when it looked impossible, but that's over now. The shift is happening. Isaiah 40 verse 31 says it like this, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, they shall mount up with wings as eagles, they shall run and not be weary." Did you catch that? Run, and not be weary. God didn't build you to stand still, he didn't strengthen you just so you could sit in comfort, he prepared you to move, he taught you endurance so you could keep going when others quit. So now, when he opens the door, you don't delay. When the opportunity comes, you run through it. When God shifts you into a higher gear, don't question it. This is your moment. No more dragging your feet. No more asking for signs you already received. No more clinging to the past. The time for slow progress is over. Run. Let me say this to those of you who might be struggling with this shift. You've gotten used to the pace of walking, you've gotten comfortable with slow, you've adjusted your expectations to match the delay. But hear me, when God pushes you forward, that comfort zone won't follow you, and if you're not careful, you'll be tempted to resist the very thing you've been praying for. You'll try to hold yourself back, you'll say, am I really ready for this? You'll start doubting, questioning, hesitating. But listen, when God says run, you don't get to move at yesterday's pace, you don't get to think like the person you used to be, you don't get to bring old mindsets into a new season. When God puts acceleration in your spirit, you can't keep acting like you're stuck in neutral, you can't move slow when heaven is shouting go. And here's the truth, if you try to walk when God is telling you to run, you'll feel like you're falling behind. You'll watch doors open, but they'll close before you can step through them. You'll see opportunities, but hesitate just long enough to miss them. You'll see the momentum, but you'll be watching it from the sidelines. Why? Because you were moving too slow, because you were too scared to match the pace God gave you. And let me say this as clearly as I can, God is not waiting on your fear, He's not holding back for your comfort, He's not pressing pause while you decide if you're ready. He already made the decision, He already released the shift, and it's happening, with or without you. When God moves, you move. When He opens the door, you run through it. When He releases the acceleration, you align with it. This is not about your emotions, this is not about whether you feel ready, this is about your destiny, this is about the assignment on your life, this is about everything God placed inside you, the purpose He's been shaping, developing, refining, and now, that purpose is moving. You can't stay in the same place anymore, you can't cling to the old season. You can't wait around for another confirmation when God already gave you the green light. The shift is already happening, the invitation has already been sent, God has already said, it's time. So I have to ask, will you move, will you trust the shift, even when it feels unfamiliar? Will you obey, even when your flesh wants to hesitate? Will you run, even when fear is telling you to slow down? Because here's the truth, destiny does not wait for hesitation. If you keep dragging your feet, someone else will step into the opportunity that was meant for you. If you keep waiting for the perfect time, you'll miss the window completely. If you delay obedience, you'll find yourself watching others rise. Not because they were better, but because they moved faster, they trusted quicker, they acted boldly, they aligned with the acceleration, and meanwhile, you'll be standing still, wondering why nothing is changing. Listen to me, this is not the time to look back. Lot's wife looked back, and she was frozen in place. The Israelites wanted to go back to Egypt, and they missed the promised land. Judas hesitated, and he missed his chance to be redeemed. You cannot afford to delay. You cannot afford to look back. You cannot afford to miss what God is doing, because this moment, it's once in a lifetime, this divine window. It won't stay open forever. Everything is in position, the shift is already activated. The only thing left is you. Will you move? Will you run? Will you say yes to what God is doing in your life right now? Because chosen one, if you don't respond now, if you miss this divine acceleration, you may never get this moment again. This is your time, everything is about to change. The people who doubted you, they're going to wonder how you leaped so far ahead. The ones who mocked your slow progress, they're going to be speechless when they see your sudden rise. Even your enemies, they won't be able to stop it, because you've already outrun them. They thought they had time, they thought your delays were permanent, they thought your slow pace meant your destiny had been cancelled, but they didn't know what God was doing behind the scenes. They didn't realize you were in preparation, not stagnation. And now that the acceleration has hit, you're gone, they can't catch up, you're running on God's timing, not man's.